Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. We're gonna just roll through Elimination Chamber, a little bit of changes to Fastlane, talk about Raw, talk about SmackDown, the thing we do every single week. We said there was going to be an unannounced pre-show match pop up. We got that. It was Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson taking on the Mysterage.
Woohoo.
The pure definition of a filler match, right?
Yep.
The match meant absolutely nothing. Anderson and Gallows, I guess, pull a little bit of momentum going forward, but the Mysterage, not exactly the hardest enemy in the world, didn't put up too much of a fight. Now we're going to move into the actual card. It's the Women's Elimination Chamber match opening up the show. Outcome as expected?
99% as expected.
Okay. We'll start at the top.
We all knew Alexa was winning.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that Bayley did not eliminate Sasha.
Mm-hmm. Well, first up, Mandy Rose, first eliminated.
Not really a surprise.
Well, now she's the first ever woman eliminated from an Elimination Chamber match, and the first ever woman eliminated from a Royal Rumble match. From a women's Royal Rumble match. Not from any Rumble match. Holds that clear distinction, and then Sonya Deville right out after her. Which was a surprising aspect to me, just because Mickie James actually got an elimination. I didn't expect Mickie to get any sort of spot or anything big in this match. I thought she was just going to be a filler body.
I expected her to last a little while, so I'm not that surprised.
But as you said, Bayley, Sasha Banks, the switch did flick, but not in the direction people seem to be going. It went in the obvious direction, which I think people were expecting a little bit different from.
Yeah.
With Sasha Banks stamping at the hands of Bayley and kicking her off.
Yeah, we definitely want to see where they go from here, but it definitely looks like Bayley and Sasha's definitely on the horizon.
One-on-one at WrestleMania?
Pre-show.
Pre-show.
That way we can get the Usos on the main card.
You keep doing anything as long as we can get the Usos on the main card. But yes, Alexa Bliss walking out as champion, solidifying a little bit of the uncertainty that we had in the women's division.
Yeah, the only thing we don't know is who is Asuka going to challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Once we know that, then we'll know a lot more.
Yeah, because the Ronda Rousey contract signing took a swerve in that there was no swerve.
Yeah, there was no swerve, but it was just a WWE contract signing, so it was never specified that she actually signed with Raw.
True, but it does look a lot like it.
Yeah, all that contract was for a WrestleMania match.
Okay. It looks a hell of a lot, at least like in the short term, Ronda and Kurt taking on Triple H and Steph.
Yeah, unless they somehow magically pull out the wazoo, The Rock. Yeah, I think we're going to get Kurt and Ronda versus Trips and Steph.
I think The Rock, obviously from that segment, is it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Was the intended partner, but dude's busy, right? You can't get him to do everything you want. And Kurt is sitting around, been in a couple matches.
The movie studios may not let him wrestle ever again. Because that Hercules movie of his lost a lot of money because of his injuries.
Yeah. So I can see why everybody's a little hesitant if he was filming a current movie, or even lined up to film another one, and he looks like he's always busy with something on the slate, like he can always have someone who's trying to stop him from wrestling. So I fully expect it to be Kurt Angle.
And I'm fine with that.
So how do you think that match as a whole is going to go? I'm going to assume that there's going to be some form of leadership struggle there, just because Triple H, Stephanie, and Kurt would be involved. But I don't fully get the motives.
Well, from Kurt's point of view, it's probably revenge for what Trips did at Survivor Series to him.
True. So it's all just a little bit of revenge, right? Like, Kurt wants revenge on Triple H. Rousey wants revenge. even though she's slightly already got some. And then the Authority just want revenge because Rousey embarrassed them with Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
But one thing's for sure, I think they're going to have to pair her with somebody who can talk, because oh boy, that was not good.
She can point at a WrestleMania
I think
side.
she needs to be a Heyman girl.
I think that's the way everybody's expecting.
Yeah, it's definitely something they're going to have. They've got to get her some help.
Put her in Titus Worldwide.
I'd be fine with that too, but I just think it's probably best for them to pair her with Paul, especially if Brock does leave, as we all hope he does in the WrestleMania.
We will get to Brock.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll definitely have to see where they go from here. But I think they definitely need to give her a mouthpiece until she's comfortable with her mic game.
The Raw Tag Team Championships were on the line. The Bar defeating Titus Worldwide and proclaiming that there's nobody left in the division for them. Will it be War Machine or will it be Authors of Pain?
I don't think it'll be either of those, at least not until after WrestleMania.
Okay.
It's entirely possible that we may see a certain brother come back.
I'm trying to think of a witty joke here. I can't. I got nothing. Yeah, it's a possibility. I know we were throwing around the possibility of Bray and Hardy teaming up.
Yeah. But
that doesn't look to be the direction we're going. I know we plotted out when Jeff should be back, and he should be back for WrestleMania. It will have been a year since they returned. It feels like it wasn't that long ago. So it's highly possible. But I think they've got to get a new opponent. I don't think they're just going to get the Club, or they're just going to get Titus Worldwide again, or somebody like that. I think it's going to have to be someone they haven't had a recent and extensive feud with.
I don't really know. The division is so bare right now that it's hard to even fathom who the Club could face.
Yeah. It'll probably end up just being some multi-man match again.
It's possible.
I feel like that's the default, right? We have nothing for your division, just have a multi-man match. The go-to.
Yeah, it's very possible. Especially if the rumors are true and they're not going to be doing the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, because they're going to be doing a women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
Okay.
That muddies things up a little more.
Yeah, I feel like with your male roster you have like 120 active wrestlers, and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal was a great way to get on 30 of them that weren't going to have a spot otherwise. I feel like with the women's roster, presuming all of the matches happens, right, you got the Raw Women's title match, the SmackDown Women's title match, you got Bayley versus Sasha, you got Ronda in a tag match. Sure, you have a little bit of roster left over, but you're not going to have the mass of a roster left over that the men do.
Mm-hmm. There's also the fact that there's a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, I just feel like that sort of throwaway slot everybody else in match definitely fits the men a whole lot more. But I'll remain optimistic and see what we get. Asuka defeats Nia Jax, and Nia Jax will not be added to the championship match at WrestleMania 34.
As expected.
As expected, yeah.
I still am holding out hope that she challenges Charlotte, and we get Nia versus Alexa as a swerve.
Yeah, that is the ending to this that I would expect, especially now that Rousey is not going after Charlotte. Someone has to. And I think the other SmackDown women have been largely ignored, to the point of I don't think any of them are legitimate contenders.
Yeah, I mean, last year at this time, we had 3 different storylines for the SmackDown women going on at the same time. This year, everybody's just lumped together.
Yeah. I don't think I could even say they have one.
Right now, they have the Riot Squad versus Charlotte storyline going on.
True. And they've still forgotten about Carmella having the briefcase.
Well, they mentioned it on the commentary, so
yeah.
they at least recognize that she has it. I personally it's gotten to the point where I kind of hope she just forgets to use it and it expires, and then she tries to cash in and realize only to find out she can't use it because it's expired. Just because that'd be such a comedic moment.
The way, I guess, in my head that I expected the most to go down, just because I expect them to get rid of it, would be Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. Asuka wins, heartfelt celebration. Carmella cashes in. Asuka beats her in very few seconds. Briefcase goes out of the way. Asuka defeats 2 people in the same night.
Very, very possible.
Yeah, it's just a way I see to get rid of the briefcase.
But that would also be a copy of what happened to Baron Corbin.
True. But we copy people all the time. Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt. All I can say about this match is that Hardy won.
It happened.
Are they finished?
I guess, unless they formed the tag team. I don't know what they did on Raw, so so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we're going to slowly move on. I know Matt Hardy's tweeting more about the Ultimate Deletion, potentially a big gimmick match. Still crossing my fingers for something like that, just to at least see if it would work in the WWE atmosphere. I know obviously they tried it a little bit with the House of Horrors match. They tried it a little bit when the New Day went to the Wyatt compound, but I want to see a full-scale match and just see, did that work, did that not? And I think that's going to tell us whether the Matt Hardy thing going forward is going to be fully viable, or whether it's just going to be a dude with a funny laugh.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they do that for WrestleMania. Maybe they do Hardy versus Wyatt to blow out the feud with the Ultimate Deletion match.
We'll have to wait and see. Men's Elimination Chamber time now. Let's go bit by bit, I guess. The Miz eliminated by Braun Strowman.
Yeah, yeah. That was one heck of a spot when Braun threw Miz off the top of the cage.
Yes,
the top of the pod.
I liked the hilarious part of the bashing his head into the wall over and over. I think they should have done that a couple more times.
Yeah. It was definitely there was definitely no way that the women could have followed this match. Not because it wasn't any better or anything. It's just they wouldn't have been able to use the chamber if they did it after this match.
Yeah.
Because Braun pretty much destroyed at least 2 of the Trods by himself, and
it would have been a pain to fix up.
Yeah.
Sadly, second out was Elias. He did enter last, but he went out second.
Yeah, but I felt I was all right with that. Elias got his moment. He got to sit back and enjoy. I kind of wished he would have brought the guitar and his mic in his pod, but it was fine.
I think Elias's character got so many moments in this match, before, waiting in the pod, and even once he came out, that it doesn't hurt him at all. I think he's still that dastardly, slimy, bad guy who just happened to run afoul of the monster among men, and as we know in this chamber, only one man can beat the monster among men.
Yeah, because the monster among men beat everybody else.
Yup. Including John Cena in quick succession right after Elias.
Yep. He had 5 eliminations.
Yeah, taking out Finn.
He literally eliminated everybody but himself. And the winner.
Had this been a 6-man match, Braun would have won. But yeah, I think huge showing here for Braun with the 5 eliminations. I don't think we needed any more evidence that the dude is a monster, but we got it.
Yeah, they broke a few pods. I kind of wanted them to tip him over. I wanted him to tip one over. I just wanted him to see him lift up and tip one of the pods over. Because that just would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a great night. I still don't know what their plans are for him for WrestleMania, but yeah, he's definitely a megastar. Him losing in the end did not hurt him. So
yeah, his WrestleMania plans to me are the murkiest. Obviously, at the end of this, we'll get talking about Brock Lesnar, and I think that there's 2 different tracks of mind with Brock Lesnar. And if you subscribe to one of them, then Braun maybe getting a bigger spot. If you subscribe to the other, then God knows what we're going to do with him. But obviously Roman Reigns wins the match 40 minutes in. Uh, match at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Booked in the cards as people expected.
And predictable's not bad.
No. Now what wasn't predictable? Jumping over to Raw. The reason we're going to play Roman Reigns' theme later on. Brock Lesnar... Okay, I'm going to use...
Air quotes?
Air quotes on no-showed, and then Roman Reigns lays into him.
Gave the promo of his career so far, other than the one where he just stood and let them boo for 15 minutes before saying just one phrase and walking off. But yeah, that was a great promo he had. And he really lit into a lot of the issues that fans have had with Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Because as he said, at least whether you like him or not, he's there every week.
Yeah.
If he's the champ, the championship is going to be there every week. It's not going to get forgotten in the back of the arena. It's not going to be sitting on a couch most 40 weeks out of the year.
Yeah. I definitely think that he hit all of the cards that he had to hit in that promo. It was amazing. It was great. Loved it. But do you subscribe to the Brock legitimate walkout theory, or do you subscribe to the asked to walk out theory?
I'm subscribing that this was completely a work.
Okay.
But they put elements in it that were very reminiscent of the Paul Heyman when he publicly fired Sabu promo. There were definitely a lot of elements there, so I'd say Heyman probably had a big hand in the promo.
Yeah.
But I definitely believe that they decided this is what we need to begin the ball around getting people behind Roman for this match, is that we need to make it seem like he's standing up for everybody who hates the fact that the champion is a part-timer.
Yeah. And I think it's going to work.
Well, the promo definitely got him a lot of cheers at the end. So
I'll cross my fingers.
It's up in the air. We'll have to see where they go from here, but he definitely won some points in with that promo.
So I'm just going to look at the rest of stuff that happened on Raw. I'm seeing a video titled Bray Wyatt isn't finished with Matt Hardy, so we can expect that to go for a little bit longer, possibly the tag team, possibly the Ultimate Deletion match. We'll see what happens. The Miz seems to be feuding consecutively with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Expect a triple threat there, I think, at WrestleMania.
Very possibly. Actually, there might be a role for Braun.
Okay.
But I'm not really all that certain about it. But maybe if the rumors aren't true about Rey Mysterio and John Cena, maybe Braun versus John?
I've heard a lot of John Cena stuff.
Yeah, but Braun's definitely somewhere out floating in the middle, but I don't expect him to be added to the Universal title match.
No. Not unless the Brock Lesnar legitimate walking out.
Down, he would just have to ask, and he would already be in the match. Because apparently they're handing out championship matches right and left right now.
Yep. I think if Brock Lesnar was legitimately walking out and we had to scramble for a plan, then Braun could find his way into that match, but I'm with you in that thinking it was all a plan.
He may still walk out at the end of his contract anyway, but I don't think him not showing was him walking out.
Fair enough. But yeah, John Cena, he has no plans.
Yeah. He's a desperate man. So desperate that he even attempts to take a count-out victory in a match.
And we'll talk about that and everything when we jump over to SmackDown, just because we've talked a lot on this side of the entrance theme. We've got to play that before the end of the show. Yeah. So we'll play Roman Reigns' entrance theme for you now. When we come back, we'll hit SmackDown. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. So yeah, on SmackDown, John Cena jumps ship to try and find himself a WrestleMania match, and he's halfway there.
Yeah, he asked for an opportunity to get into the Fatal 5-Way at Fastlane.
Now we got a six-pack
And
challenge.
he got an opportunity to face the WWE Champion with the condition that if he won, he'd be added and it'd be a six-pack challenge. And he won. So now it's a six-pack challenge. It was a great match between AJ and Cena.
Yeah.
As expected. The expressions and things on Cena are just so off from what you expect.
Yeah.
From him. Part of it might be that he is beginning to break down physically.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not able to do what he used to be able to do. But a lot of it is frustration. A lot of he's actually showing his frustration a lot more than he used to. He even tried to take a shortcut, something that the old Cena would never do.
Yeah.
When he actually tried to get a count-out win.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with John Cena. I know you mentioned Rey Mysterio, Braun potentially on the horizon. There's a lot of people, I guess, who would want to make their name by beating John Cena at WrestleMania.
I'm still having out hope for Elias.
Me too. Don't expect it, but could happen.
Yeah.
Let's see a
I just thought of another possibility for Braun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little out there because person hasn't debuted yet, or returned yet. But maybe he goes out complaining. Braun goes out at WrestleMania to say he doesn't have anybody, he doesn't have a match or anything, and then he gets an impromptu match with Bobby Lashley.
Okay. The only problem I see with that match is that no one can lose it.
I think Braun could and not be hurt because Bobby Lashley is the one guy probably outside of Brock and Roman that would actually be believable in beating Braun, to be all honest.
I think you mean Ethan Carter III is the one man who could be believable beating Braun Strowman.
Just as believable as him beating John Cena at NXT.
Yeah.
Takeover.
Yeah, well, I think we have to wait and see, and I think the card will slowly unfold itself. The SmackDown side, after Fastlane, will start getting pieced together. We're seeing the Raw side slowly start to get pieced together. We got about a month, I think. Just let everything slowly unfold.
Yeah, it's April 8th.
Yep.
I know because they're doing a SmackDown, basically a SmackDown Live. It's not a house show. That's not branded as SmackDown Live house show.
Mm-hmm.
1 week before, near me, it's 1 week before WrestleMania, because it's on a Sunday.
Okay.
So, and it's on the 1st of April.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a way to do it. In the SmackDown Tag Division, Usos New Day, it's not going to last long though, is it the Bludgeon Brothers on that horizon? I still think they're going to have the WrestleMania match.
Yeah. There's definitely something brewing there, because every time the New Day has something to do, out come the Bludgeon Brothers at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either going to be them challenging the champions, or them challenging the New Day.
My guess is that the Bludgeon Brothers walk out of WrestleMania with the championships.
It's very possible. I'm glad that they actually put the fact that the Usos have never been on the main card in their storyline.
That's just because it's more likely they'll get on it this time.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been on the pre-show or not on the show at all.
It's one way to do it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we got an appearance from Rusev Day.
Yeah, and Aiden English had a pretty good match with Shinsuke. Maybe they'll do Shinsuke versus Rusev for Fastlane to give Shinsuke something to do.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do with Rusev.
Yeah, it's pretty sad because he's pretty over, but they're not doing anything with him.
Rusev is one of the most over acts on SmackDown.
Yeah. And
I'll say Rusev Day. I'll put Aiden in there as well.
Aiden at least has attempts to maintain his heelness. Rusev at time Rusev did something heelish for the first time in like months.
Yeah. On
SmackDown, so we'll definitely have to see where they go. But I kind of feel like it'll be Rusev versus Shinsuke at Fastlane, just to give Shinsuke something to do at that pay-per-view while AJ is battling for his championship.
Mm-hmm. And then at WrestleMania, we'll just have Rusev win the Andre the Giant. Oh wait,
I would rather them do a ladder match, a multi-man ladder match for the United States title, and Rusev win the title there.
yeah, I'd be fine with it. Anything for Rusev is good. But obviously in that US title, at the moment we got Rude Orton, but we've also got Jinder floating around. As you said, someone like Rusev could jump in. Baron, Dolph. There's plenty of people who could challenge for that, so I could see it. And it would be putting a non-intercontinental title in a multi-man ladder match, which is good.
Yeah. It's also very possible that Rude goes heel after Fastlane, and he has a long title reign as a heel.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see another day because we're all out of time. It's been great talking to you.
Bye.
You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/wrestling radio, Twitter page, twitter.com/wrestling radio, and we'll see you next week.